Jaguar Wright literally told us a couple months ago the next person that was going to go down with Diddy was going to be Jay-Z, and she has been standing on their neck for years now.
So Diddy have on tape, he taped everything. He taped everything and taped everybody.
How does Jay-Z sit down with Gayle King and she not ask him one question about the intersection between him and Aaliyah and Robert Kelly?
I'd bet. So people are starting to peep something with Diddy. They seeing a pattern, like the man got a whole playbook. He always dodging the worst of these wild accusations. How? He's a master at that distraction game. Dude plans his moves like chess, perfect timing and all that. He gets everybody looking over there so they ain't looking at him. He controls the whole story before it can blow up on him. Turns a potential disaster into something he's running himself.
And as we going towards the boathouse, I look in the distance and it's this man in all black. He's in all black. And he turns and it looked like he had the white collar. I couldn't be sure. I couldn't be positive, but it looked like he had the white collar because Puff said, yo, Gene, stay right here. And I stayed right there and he kept on walking. So when Puff get directly to the dude, he gets down on his knees. When he gets down on his knees, this man takes something and it seemed like it had smoke in it and he started doing it around Puff. And then he went back and forth. And then he went up and down with it, sideways with it, then back around him. And then he put it down. And then he put his hand on Puff's head. And I guess he started, saying something. I don't even really know what he said, but I couldn't tell what he said. You understand what I'm saying? Long story short, I see Puff reach into this case. And when he reached into this case, he came out and you could see something white in his hand. I didn't know it was a bird. I didn't know what it was at first, but he threw it up in the air. And when he threw it in the air, the came straight back down like it was a brick and said, pow, on the concrete. And I was like, oh, that was a dove. That was a bird.
Now, check the vibe around him. Folks in his circle, they walking on eggshells, for real. They all backed off when the heat came, but now they sweating cause he still ain't caught a real case. They nervous he might bounce back and be on top again. And when people get to talking like this, one name always pops up, Jay-Z. Everybody looking around like, who's next? This is all about old dirt that never got cleaned up in private wars that never really ended.
Gets to get out, be with his family. They didn't really railroad him like they did R. Kelly.
Isn't that interesting how I've been saying that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Since 2022, I've been talking about acceptable monsters. Hand-selected, hand-picked. Tell me something. How does R. Kelly's music get snatched off the radio and Diddy's doesn't?
So why Jay-Z name in the mix again? Jaguar Wright say it's deeper than the headlines. She pointing to one big moment between him and Diddy that could flip hip-hop on its head. Under all the glitz, she say there's a quiet war going on. It's about loyalty to your day one versus keeping it 100. It's about protecting the legendary legacy they built or finally letting the whole truth out, no filter.
Be able to stay silent about his connection to Diddy. And baby, she wasn't lying because Jaguar Wright was just on Piers Morgan exposing the out of Jay-Z. Jaguar Wright was calling out Jay-Z for his silence, saying that now he's gonna have no choice but to talk because he has connections with Diddy, R. Kelly, Epstein and Harvey Weinstein. She also said that she has victims that have video footage of these freak-offs and what they do to people, and she said that she saw what Jay-Z and Beyonce were allegedly doing to people. Jaguar Wright even said that Jay-Z is the one that allegedly set up R. Kelly because he knew everything that he was doing and he was doing the same shit. And she said that Jay-Z is the one that funded surviving R. Kelly because his best friend for years is Dream Hampton. And baby, she wasn't lying. Jay-Z and Dream Hampton have been friends for years.
Even locked up, the wall's closing in on Diddy. If you want to survive this legal storm, his best bet might be to start naming names. Throw other people into the fire to take the heat off himself. And Jay-Z is the main name on everybody's lips for who might be on that list. Jaguar hint there's a deeper level to this, tied to Diddy's rumored strategies. That part's still in the shadows, but if it ever sees light, it could wreck the music industry worse than anything we heard so far. The ultimate bomb.
But it's another thing when you look at it for what, in my opinion, I believe it actually is.
And what is it?
Demonic ritualistic behaviors, humiliation rituals, offerings to the devil.
We were just talking about that. Revelation 17, the mystery of Babylon. I don't think people really want to get into that when they talk about mystery Babylon and the abominations and the rituals, the SEX rituals, the traffic to the, traffic jam.
I mean, we all know the saying that they have out here, right? They say that the music industry, the film industry, Hollywood and all that is the devil's playground. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. What about you? Leave it in the comments section. Let's talk about it, but let's also continue.
The selling of your body, all that stuff, mystery of Babylon, y'all.
Like, I want y'all to really think about what they were talking about. See, everybody was, the spreading of bodily fluids from one person to another, using one person as a receptacle, and then taking it from that person's body and then putting it and smearing it all over like these.
To get why we at this breaking point, you gotta rewind. Go back to when Jay and Puff were the kings. They wasn't just rappers, they were the most powerful dudes in the game. They built empires with Roc Nation and Bad Boy. Set the standard for a whole generation on style, influence, and success. Their legendary parties made M look like an untouchable squad. But Jaguar Wright say their bond wasn't just brotherhood. It was held together by secrets. Dangerous ones. The kind that could burn down everything they ever built if they ever got out.
CIA agent like Jeffrey Epstein. I watched that in a video or something. And it's possible that he came in the game young, because I heard that a story of Gene Deal saying that Diddy had to go meet with the feds. He don't know what it was about, and it was in his earlier part of his career. I wonder if he could have been working with him for all these years. Who knows? Let's talk about it in the comments, but we're going to continue.
SEX magic. Sure enough. Yeah, Jay-Z, yeah, he wears the Aleister Crowley t-shirts.
Well, I got dragged.
He had a line of his own clothing. Like, I want you to really think about this.
I got dragged for bringing that to people's attention. They were like, oh yeah, he's a conspiracy theorist because he said, I'm like, no, that's what he wore. And he was with Abramovich. Like, yeah, y'all gotta, who you hang with is who you are.
I'm still trying to understand how people want to sit there and talk about me, and he's sitting there frontal lobe to frontal lobe with a known witch. And people don't question.
And the funny thing is
do as thou wilt. Yeah.
The funny thing is when you talk about witches, and I'm still not going to go in on this this raccoon of a content creator who decided to shout you out one minute and then try to drag you for going on a platform and saying, you said about witchcraft takes one to know one, and he just automatic, is you a witch? So the thing is that's another smear campaign, your credibility, and then they go after your
You want
what
to
is
know
it?
what's
I don't
funny?
want to say I don't want to say religiosity. What is it?
What is what?
No, I'm saying they go after your credibility.
Jaguar even said Diddy's best move for protection might be to just tell everything. Put all the cards on the table. Use that truth as a bargaining chip to cut a deal for himself. And by telling all, he could expose the hidden connections between powerful people, the ones that kept M safe and out of the spotlight for years.
Us about Jay-Z and Diddy, and nobody believed her. I remember her very first interview years ago saying how Diddy was a trafficker, and everybody thought she was crazy and everybody ridiculed everything she had to say. Well, now does she seem crazy? What I love about Jaguar Wright is watching her time and time again get vindicated on things that she says. Like, it was so crazy back then that nobody wanted to believe it, but now that we are seeing things come to light, how crazy is it actually? I've always been the type that can't stand when people are called crazy because the things that they are saying are hard for a person to believe. This doesn't make a person crazy, and these people wouldn't be saying these things for no reason. We watch it happen time and time again with these situations, just like Cat Williams, just like Michael Jackson, just like Aaron Carter, and even Kanye. I really feel like in 2024, everybody has woken up and seen that all of these people saying this throughout the years, they're not crazy. They're not saying all of this for no reason, and it's something that I've known for years. Jaguar Wright literally told us a couple months ago the next person that was going to go down with Diddy was going to be Jay-Z, and she has been standing on their neck for years now. She's even talked about Jay-Z's alleged relationships with younger people in the past, such as Aaliyah, such as Foxy Brown, such as Rihanna, and even Beyonce.
Now, Jaguar Wright bringing up an old, dark story about a woman named Kathy Corona White. She say Kathy was linked to Jay-Z and was pregnant. Wright claims Kathy died suddenly after planning to go public. She called this a major industry secret. She hinting that people close to Jay might be involved. The big question she tossing out, did Jay get rid of his girl because Beyonce was jealous? Or did he have to cover up something worse his wife did, just to protect their perfect image? Wright claims both Diddy and Jay know the full story. She thinks Diddy could tell investigators everything, but she doubts he ever will. She also points out their friendship was never that tight. Diddy's old security, Roger Bonds, said they were business, not brothers. Diddy would show for Jay's events, but Jay would ghost Diddy's, even skipped his wedding to Bey. Wright been saying for years that the big scandals, Diddy, R. Kelly, Harvey Weinstein, all got threads leading in back to Jay-Z. She believes he operates in the shadows, staying in power while others take the fall. She thinks if Diddy gets backed into a corner legally, he might start spilling Jay's secrets to save his own skin. People also noticing how quick Jay-Z has distanced himself from Diddy since the lawsuits hit. Acting like they were barely cool, despite all the pics of them partying together. There's also talk about who Jay hires. People side-eyeing that a top exec at Roc Nation is someone known to have cooperated with the feds in the past. The whole idea is there's a hidden power web in the music biz. If more big players like Diddy fall, it could leave Jay and Bey with even more control. Some wonder if Jay will ever face his own downfall, but most think he's too well guarded. But if Diddy ever decides to talk, game over. So what y'all think? Drop your thoughts. This is a cold situation. I can't front like I know what's 100% true from over here, but my man Daz is usually on point. We just gotta see how it plays. You gotta know the business if you're gonna be in it, that's what Daz always says. If you're feeling these updates, help the channel, smash that like button, subscribe, and share this. I'll see you in the next one. You don't want to miss it. Peace.